Have you ever had an AI agent that forgets everything that you just said? And let's see what it does. I don't know your favorite color yet, but I'd love to find out. Want to give me a hint? We just said that our favorite color is blue, but it has no idea. It has no recollection of what just happened. And the reason for that is that this AI agent is stateless. So a stateless agent is essentially one that treats every chat or conversation as independent of each other. So anytime you talk to it, anytime you prompt it, it has no idea of what just happened. It is purely just focused in that moment, right? In the present moment. It is not considering anything from the past or bringing in any past chats as context for answering you as the user. So we see that most AI agents today are stateless agents. So how do we make it stateful? How do we make it have memory? Well, the way that we're going to do that in this video, very simply, is use this tool called backboard.io, which is widely known as the world's smartest AI memory, as you can see here. It's a very simple tool, and I'm going to show you how to set this up in N8N in just a few minutes. So backboard.io has a ton of great features, and it recently won #1 in the benchmark for long-term context memory across all different AI memory systems. And so what that means is it's regarded as the best platform for remembering long context. So if you have large documents or long conversations, it has the best memory system built in. And so we're going to use this today and get this set up. So if you've never used backboard.io, you can go ahead and click sign up, but I'm just going to go ahead and click sign in and get started. So here, I'm going to go straight into the API documentation to show you how to implement this in N8N. So first, we're going to see welcome to Backboard API, and we're going to go ahead and click quick start. So we're going to need the information in this box, and we're going to bring that into N8N. So I've already gone ahead and set up the majority of this, and I'll walk you through how this works. So what I've done is I've set up some basic HTTP requests. So an HTTP request is a module inside of N8N that is essentially just an API call. So what we're doing is we're making API calls to backboard.io. And so I've set this up such that we are creating a new assistant, and then we're creating a new thread. So really quick, a thread in backboard.io is the solution to our initial problem of how do we have an AI agent with memory, and it maintains that thread ID throughout the conversation. And so the first thing we do is we click execute workflow, and then we create a brand new assistant, and I'll walk through this setup, and then we create a brand new thread, and then we maintain that thread every time we talk to this agent. So as I mentioned, I followed this documentation to copy the base URL along with dash assistance and then a JSON payload for name and description, and I pasted that here as such. So I pasted that URL, the base URL dash assistance. It's a post method. It is using bearer authentication as a generic credential type. I'm sending my API key, and then I'm passing in a JSON payload with these two body parameters as the names and then specific values that I've defined. So this is how you create an assistant. And now we're also going to create a thread. So a thread here again is a post method using the base URL dash the specific assistant ID that this outputs. So we're utilizing that assistant ID, and we're doing dash threads. So again, it's a very similar setup, and we're not passing in anything. So we're just going to create thread there. So really quick, I'm going to execute this workflow just to show you that this runs. And now we see that we've created an assistant and created a thread. Now this thread ID, what we're going to do is copy that and bring this over right here where we have this send message HTTP request that I've already configured as well. So what I'm going to do is paste in this new thread ID. And this is also a post request. It's sending a message to a specific large language model or a specific assistant that we've configured inside backboard.io. And now that we've copied our thread ID, we can check out the rest of this setup. So this is all just following the API documentation. In this case, I'm following the threads, this particular function that we're using. And so we're passing in the thread ID, and we have these options to pass into this particular module. And so in this case, I've just passed in the chat input, which is useful because what we're going to do here is we're going to bring this over to our new and improved AI agent that actually gets the chat input here, as we see here. And now it maintains a particular thread ID throughout the conversation, and then it responds accordingly. So let's go ahead and have a conversation with this AI agent to see how it works. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same conversation. Hey, remember that my favorite color is blue. Great, and it says, got it, your favorite color is blue. How can I assist you today? Now we're gonna ask the key question, what is my favorite color? And let's see what it does. Great, so it says your favorite color is blue. There you go. We have an AI agent with memory that will remember our past conversations. So just like that, we've created this stateful AI agent with memory. So what's so great about this setup and the way that we have this built is that we can easily plug this chatbot into a different form that we'd like. So we can put this on our website. We can connect this to our Slack channels. We can use a Telegram bot to auto send messages to folks. We can have this reply to our email. We can do all of that in here within N8N. So there's a few different modules. There's Slack, there's Discord, there's Telegram, there's Gmail if we want to have it respond to our email. We can have it update our CRM and HubSpot if we'd like. So we have all these different things that we can plug in here. But for the simplicity of this video, I have just set this up to use the inbuilt chat function within N8N. And so that's what we're doing here. But we can easily configure this to put this anywhere we'd like. And we can set that up as well as a custom webhook. So you can put this chatbot on any front end. It doesn't just have to be within the N8N chat interface. Another great thing about utilizing Backboard.io is we're leveraging this functionality called persistent memory. Now, persistent memory is the ability for an AI agent to remember the entire conversation regardless of which model you're utilizing in that call, which tool is being run, or however the conversation goes. It will have memory of the full conversation as long as the thread ID is the same. So that's what we have as persistent memory. So if we wanted to make this workflow a little bit more dynamic, we can have it send a message to a different AI agent. Let's say I ask a research-based question like look up online and find 5 sources for this information. I could have that passed into a different large language model within my same AI assistant. And then I could ask a very short question based on a document that I've uploaded. And it would remember the entire conversation earlier because I used the same thread ID. So even though I called a different model, like a research-based model versus a typical large language model with a smaller context window, that is fine. It still has memory of that full conversation. When you use Backboard.io, you're also not locked into passing your data to any specific vendor like OpenAI or Google or Meta or any of them. You have your data that you chat with your LLM, and that data is still stored with you. If you want your AI agent to reference specific files or specific company knowledge when providing answers, and you want it to use it as context, Backboard.io also supports knowledge retrieval and retrieval augmented generation, and I will cover that in the next video. But for now, you have an AI agent that has long-term memory that can remember that your favorite color is blue. So with that, that is it for this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one.